Hey guys, welcome to my channel. Today I'm going to be doing my full monthly hair wash routine reboot. So this is an old twist out. So what I typically do, just to give you background, is for me, I found that doing mini twists, keeping them in for about a week or 2 weeks, have helped with my length retention. And I started off with a shaved head less than a year ago, and it's almost fully grown back to where I cut it. So these are just the things that I've noticed that work for my hair growth. So I'm going to go through my routine. I'm going to let you guys know it's just 6 steps. It is a process. It does take a while, but one thing I noticed with this is that one, my scalp is clean throughout the week. I don't have any more bad dandruff. I noticed that my hair doesn't itch. Um, my hair is moisturized, so my ends are always super soft and moisturized. And I can tell just by touching it and feeling the moisture. The products that I've been using, as well as just my routine in general, has gotten used to, so my hair has basically gotten used to my routine and the moistures and what I do. So it's now just like growing and just being more healthy. And I'm going to share with you guys. So my first part of my routine is to pre-poo with dandruff shampoo. So typically I will wet my hair and then I'll get some dandruff shampoo. I personally use this one right here. This one is Nazorol. This is like a clinical kind. If you don't have bad dandruff, then you don't really need this. Me, I have really bad dandruff to the point where my hair would like flake and I would get like scabs because it would hurt so bad. So, and then sometimes I would scratch it too, but it was itching so bad. So sometimes I would itch it, like scratch it to the point where it would start to scab, but it was already just bad. So I use that, and I also use Head and Shoulders, but I mainly prefer this. This is $17. It's on my Amazon storefront. I really do think this is really good for people with dandruff. Now, after I pre-poo with that, I also go in and wash it out, and then I do a apple cider vinegar rinse. The reason why I do that is because after the pre-poo and getting the dandruff off, then I put the apple cider vinegar rinse over my scalp to really cleanse and strip out all of that excess oil or buildup. And in the areas where I have the worst dandruff, I find the apple cider vinegar rinse really strips it to the point where there's no way to gain. Because sometimes when you wash your hair, you still have a little bit left of bacteria and that can still build up. But doing these two methods cleanses my hair completely. So, step number 2 is after I get my scalp fully cleansed, I go in with a steam, like a steam overhead. You guys seen it in a lot of my videos. I have a steamer for my face and hair. So I'll do the steam overhead with hot oil. So I'll heat up some oil and I'll put it on my scalp, and it'll be my version of a hot oil treatment under steam, because steam opens up your pores. It also helps with hydration of your scalp, and dandruff can come from dehydration as well as bacteria and product buildup that's building in your scalp. So once you cleanse it and you go in with that oil, and the oils that I use are like different Ayurvedic herbs that are good for scalp health. So I recommend finding an oil that is good for scalp penetration and health. So after I steam my hair with the hot oil, it's usually like 20 minutes. I don't do no longer than that. And then I'll go in with a regular moisturizing shampoo and conditioner. And I like to do this step because I find that after you use the apple cider vinegar and do all that hot oil treatment, you want to wash all your hair thoroughly with something moisturizing to keep that hot oil treatment and steam that you put to it, but also keep your hair cleansed from that apple cider vinegar smell and also that dandruff shampoo smell. So just going over again with another shampoo. Then the conditioner is what's going to condition your hair back to its natural moisture state, along with that hot oil treatment you did on top of that moisturizing shampoo that you use. So it's just keeping your hair moisturized throughout the whole process. And that's the one thing you want to make sure you're doing, is keeping your hair moisturized throughout the process right after you strip it. Because right after you strip it, you want to replace those things you're stripping by renourishing it. So Once I do the shampoo and condition, this is when I come in with my deep conditioner. And the deep conditioner that I'm going to be using is this right here. I'm like losing my voice. This is the Bond Repair Mask. And I'm going to be using this one because I saw it was really good reviews. And you always want to make sure that you are adding restorative and protein deep conditionings in your hair, not always just hydration and curl restore. You want to make sure you're getting protein and actual nutrients. So on my monthly wash days, I always try to use a protein conditioner just so my hair is still getting the nutrients it needs on top of moisture. Then with the deep conditioning I want to add, I use a cap. So I use my heater cap. You guys seen that before too. So I kind of use both my products instead of just doing, because for me, I found that like deep conditioning my hair with the cap and then steaming the next week was causing too much of my time. So I found this routine right here, these 6 steps to combine all those things that I need for my hair once a month. And then afterwards, I have a weekly wash day that I will show you guys soon. But it's not as intense as this, but it does keep up with the routine I have with making sure my hair is always stripped, replenished, moisturized, and low maintenance. So after we deep condition with the product and the cap, wash it out. Last thing I'm going to do before I do my twist is my leave-in conditioner and this right here. This is what I put in my scalp because I have such bad dandruff. This shampoo is not the only thing I can use. And I know a lot of people say, oh, this is medicated, it has a smell. If you use this once a week, that smell only lasts us one day and afterwards it fades, especially if you're using other products in your hair and you're not using like a glump of it. All you need is a little pea amount and just move it through your hair. You just want the medication from this product in your scalp because it's what keeps the fugile and all that nasty stuff that builds up in there to become such hard, nasty flakes. So I don't know. This just worked for me. You don't have to use this. It worked for me. Like I tell you, like my dandruff was so bad, it was hurting. My scalp was like bleeding. And when you have that kind of dandruff, it's hard for your hair to grow, especially like in certain patches. Like I have it like right here. And then another spot I have like really bad dandruff for some reason. It's like right in the front of my hair. So it would get so flaky and build up. And then like if I have like braids, you will see like just dandruff just sitting on top in the middle. Like it was just too much. So I have to do a lot to prevent that because if I don't, it comes back. So this works really well. I recommend that. And then I didn't show you guys the leave-in conditioner, but this is the one I'm using, the Camilla Rose. This is such a bomb leave-in conditioner. When I thought this was going to be like a water-based leave-in conditioner, it's not. It's a really oil-based leave-in conditioner, and it gets really hot to the hand. So it's like putting heat oil to your hair, which is so good. And this is a strengthening because it has rosemary oil in it. And I can say for sure, this is some of the best stuff to twist your hair with. You can wear it under wash and go because even though it's an oil base, it's really lightweight and it's absorbing, so you don't see it under gel. Like typically with some leave-in conditioners, you can still see some whiteness on your hair, but this is literally like oil. I don't know what she made in this, but this is really good. Like this is something I know I'm going to be using for years on because it is that good. I really recommend this. Like I love this. And so I use that after I apply this, and I'm going to show you guys all this in a step by step. I just wanted to give you guys the breakdown because when I go through the video, you know, I'm going to do my voiceover where I'm going to talk over everything I'm doing. It might not be as detailed and thorough and also detailed as to why I use these products and the benefits. So next is moisturizing shampoo and conditioner. These right here are bomb. I'm going to give my reviews on these because, for one, the shampoo, excellent. Like, this is some of the best moisturizing shampoo I've ever had in my hair. It is so moisturizing and it's so cleansing at the same time. But the one thing I love about this thing is it's detangling. Like, for it to be a shampoo, and I use some dry shampoos because, you know, I have to have a lot of clarifying shampoos for my scalp. But this right here, and I use Tejan too because I had that moisturizing shampoo. That's a good one as well. But this one is just like the slip and just the moisture that it brings my hair. After my hair felt like it was literally washed in conditioner because it was so soft, and then it was just bomb. So this is a must for anybody who needs a moisturizing shampoo. The conditioner, it did its job. It's one of those things where when you apply it to your hair, you like, what? Like, because it's not really a detangling conditioner. It's one thing it's not. So you definitely want to make sure your hair is detangled before applying this. And I put it on my hair, and it was just like, it kind of felt like it was sitting on top of my hair. But after a while, you have to really penetrate the conditioner in. And then once you wash it off, your hair is super soft. That's one thing I said. The end effects of this is bomb. Like, my hair is super soft. And when you combine these two together, your hair is hydrating and soft. And I felt like when I was getting my hair prepared for the twist out and applying the leave-in conditioner, it was already set and like ready for it. Like, this lays a really good foundation for your twist outs. Even though the application for the conditioner can be a little bit, not as manageable as the shampoo. It doesn't have much slip. Like, I feel like it doesn't have like a slip like this shampoo does, but it does its job when it comes to moisturizing and keeping your hair soft. Last thing I use is the Donna's Recipe Extra Creamy Hair Cream. Yeah, I was gonna say hair butter, but it's hair cream. And as you can see, this hair cream is bomb. It smells delicious. It's really like a lightweight. What they like about it is a little bit goes a long way, so you do not need a lot, but it feels so good on the scalp. Like, it's cooling on the scalp. Like, my hair and my ends felt like, it's like a really good water-based product, and she has a lot of, it's water in it, and you can just tell. And I think the coconut oil in it is what makes this so oily and like slippery. And the sweet potato smells good. I didn't really know what I thought about like smelling sweet potato in my hair, but it just smells bomb. Like, it don't smell like, it smells like sweet potato, but it don't smell like food sweet potato. And then when you have it in your hair, oh, I can't even talk. When you have it in your hair, the sulfur 8 kind of goes away. Like, this is kind of a good potent smell because this kind of dyes this out. So this is a really good fragrance if it can dye out that sulfur 8. But yeah, this right here is going to be my first time trying, so I can't really give you much review on this one, but I have heard a lot of good reviews on it. As for the purposes of it, I wanted to try this just for the Hydroplex Infusion, which is a different type of protein that strengthens hair, because as you get length retention, your main purpose is to make sure your hair is strong and has strength and its ends are hydrated, because that's what's going to continue the length retention, because your scalp is always going to grow. That's why it's important to cleanse your scalp and take care of your scalp, but you always got to make sure most of your like attention is on these ends. And trust me, honey, I had to learn that. And so I'll go through the routine really quick again, and then I'll show you guys on video what it looked like. So first, I start with pre-poo, boom, apple cider vinegar rinse. I'm not going to show the apple cider vinegar rinse on here because, or I probably can. We'll just see. But after the apple cider vinegar rinse, I go in with, of course, my hot oil treatment and my steam. After my steam, I go in with my shampoo and my conditioner. After that, I'm going to go in with my deep conditioner. Boom. After deep conditioner, then we go in and grease the scalp and apply the leave-in to the ends to strengthen. And then we finally cut off with the twist butter. And I'm going to show you guys how to twist my hair. I want to talk about the twist. I used to do the braid in the twist, but I learned that for me, my hair tangled too much, for one. For two, it wasn't giving me the twist effect I needed, especially like after my twist outs or like my low maintenance hairstyle. I like to take my twist out and leave my hair out like this. With the braid outs, I couldn't really do that because it wasn't matching with the pattern and it was tangled and it just looked matted to me on the roots. But now I just do a basic 2-strand twist on my hair. And I think it works better now because my hair grows too. Because when your hair is shorter, sometimes those twists unravel too fast. But now that my hair has got a little bit longer, my 2-strand twists are staying more knitted. So I've been in love with it. So I'm going to get started on this video. I know it was a lot to take in. It was a lot of detail. But I wanted to give you guys the breakdown so that as I go through the video, you know how I'm doing it and you can see the breakdown, the understanding of the method, and you can see how I do it. So don't forget to like and subscribe my YouTube channel. Stay tuned and check out my website for my body butter, my face butter, and my hair butter. Bye. Okay guys, so I'm starting off with my hair sectioned. This process, I'm going to be honest with you, takes about 4 hours for me in total. Reason why being is because it's a lot of steps and it takes some time. So I want to start off with just wetting my roots because I'm going to do the pre-poo I told you guys about. Now, I like to use this dandruff shampoo because it just works really well. It has a lot of reviews and it's one of the best on the market. I do also use Head and Shoulders. You can use that too. It's just that I have some serious dandruff. So for me, I need the strongest and most potent medicated shampoo to get in the scalp and get up all of that nastiness that builds up in our scalp. So let's talk about dandruff. When we think about what dandruff is essentially a mild form of seborrheic dermatitis, a skin condition that can affect other oily areas of the body like the face and the chest, but it occurs when the skin cells on the scalp reproduce and shed too quickly, causing visible flakes. You can also have yeast on the scalp, which is a malassezia fungus. It's also caused by oily scalp. You can have dry skin, or you can have sensitivity to certain hair products that can irritate the scalp and lead to the inflammation and flaking. I do think that it's important to know what the symptoms are. So symptoms of dandruff are like flaking, itchy scalp. Other possible symptoms include like redness, greasy patches, and tingly sensations on the scalp. That is typically what I get when it comes to my dandruff is the greasy patches, the redness, and I told y'all earlier, the greasy patches can end up becoming real hard and become like blood. So my dandruff is super serious. It's because I already have naturally dry skin and I have a lot of skin conditions like eczema and dermatitis that goes throughout my body. So I'm not shocked that I have it on my scalp. So here is a really good medicated treatment. I like to do it like this because I feel like the shampoo goes all through my hair. So sometimes when you have dandruff, the dandruff can be so serious that it'll attach to like your hair strands itself. So you will have to like comb it out. So I find doing this method and finger detangling gets all the dandruff off my hair and my scalp. So this is what I typically do. And I like it. I find that this has helped me for my scalp and my irritation. And you see I focus on the front in certain areas that I like scratch because that's where my dandruff really builds up. So this pre-poo is really good. You can pre-poo with any other shampoo. It doesn't have to be a dandruff one, but this is the pre-poo that I use before I start my second step. Now this is the second step. Apple cider vinegar rinse. I just pour it over my hair on top of the shampoo and then rinse it all out together. And this is what it looks like once I rinse out the apple cider vinegar. I rinse out that dandruff shampoo, and now my hair is completely stripped. You can see it's looking a little dry too. So this is the important time to get back those replenishing oils and butters to get your hair back into its natural state. You don't want to overstimulate your hair with a lot of product because after stripping it, if you're not applying the right products, it can give you right back to dandruff. So make sure that you know the products that are good for your hair. I like to do my hot oil treatment simple, just steaming some water, sitting it in there, and then applying it to the scalp, naturally massaging the oil in. And then, of course, I'm going to hit those ends with the oil as well. You want to make sure with your hot oil treatment, you are applying the oils from the roots to the end. Now, I like to do a twist afterwards just to keep the oil sealed in because when I go under the steam is going to penetrate that oil. It's going to open up my pores in my scalp, and it's also going to bring back the hydration to my ends. So it's a really good step. I think the hot oil and steam treatment together works best. You can put a cap over it and do a dry deep conditioning, but for me, because I already have dry hair, steaming is the best option for me to bring back my natural hydration and the health of my scalp, so that way I don't have constant irritation and dry hair. I'm going to let you guys just watch as I continue to finger detangle and oil up this beautiful hair, and then I'm going to sit under the steamer for only 15 to 20 minutes. Reason why is because I'm going to also sit under a conditioning cap for about 15 to 20 minutes, so you don't want to overdo your conditioning. So I'm going to sit under the dryer and then I'll be back. Now we're going to go in and rinse out that oil that's in my hair. And I'm going to go start with Donna's recipe for shampooing. I love this shampoo, as I mentioned earlier, super hydrating. Look how it lathers on the scalp, so good. And I like to start off with just scrubbing the scalp, rinsing it out. I do a light scrub with my palms, not my nails. And I like to go ahead and also spread it throughout my entire hair, starting to work from the roots to the end. And I do this for about 5 minutes. It's good to just really get your hair nice and clean, especially if you're going to be doing a 2-week hairstyle like I am after this. Typically, my mini twist lasts me 22 weeks because of the fact that my hair is short, 1, and 2, my hair dries up quickly, and 3, it starts to get matted like dreads after 2 weeks for me, so I don't like that. So I like to redo them every 2 weeks. Sometimes it lasts 1 week, depending if I want to do a natural style or I have some content to create. But if I know I'm going to have a good 2-week period, I will go ahead and put some mini twists in so I don't have to mess with my hair. And I like to nicely, thoroughly wash my hair out with my hands, finger detangling. I mainly like to do a lot of finger detangling. I only apply tools when I am going into my leave-in conditioner and scalp greasing, because that's when I'm going to prep myself to start doing my twist. So you guys can just watch how I wash my hair, rinse it out, and let me know what you think about these products if you tried them in the comments. I really love these products. I find it does so well for my 4 type hair, and I find it does so well for my low porosity hair being so dry and sometimes unmanageable. So these shampoo and conditioner works well. I do want to add in with the Donna's recipe conditioner. I know I said earlier that it didn't have a lot of slip. That is true and not true. So the more product that you use of this conditioner, the more slip it comes. Probably because my hair is so thick now, and of course the dryness of it, I have to use more of this conditioner to get this slip and this nice moistured hair. So use more of the conditioner and you'll get more of the slip, is what I'm trying to say. Because when I first used this product, I didn't use a lot of conditioner. I didn't want to overuse it because it is a smaller bottle. But I definitely think that you need to use most of the conditioner to get the best results, because this time when I detangled, you can see how smooth the conditioner was slipping through my hands, and I think it's just because I applied more of the product than I did last time. So it's a yes and no for the slip and grip of the conditioner, but it's definitely still a yes for the moisturizing and hydration properties this conditioner does. And we know it absolutely smells delicious. So my hair smelled so good after washing it. It just was addicting. As you can see, I'm adding more of the conditioner because as my hair is getting thicker and longer, it's requiring more product. So stay tuned and continue to watch this beautiful video of me washing my hair. Now we are on the deep conditioner. I'll do a separate review about this at another time, but this is a Balm Repair conditioner. This is a protein deep mask. I like to put this on after my steam, and I like to put a deep conditioning cap under it. I find that a nice 15-20 minutes of this on the hair is going to bring back the protein and strengthen my hair as well, and it's also going to bring back moisture and hydration. So I recommend trying this deep conditioner because it actually came out really well for my hair. My hair was soft. It felt like my scalp was clean. My hair curls look more defined. I think that this is a really good deep conditioner. I'm gonna keep trying it though, and then I'll finally do a YouTube review. That way you guys can get my full detailed opinion, and if I have some examples, I will always show them. So I'm going to go ahead and twist my hair because this is the easiest to put the conditioning cap on. I always do a double layer. I apply a plastic shower cap, and then I apply the cap that comes with the heating deep conditioning cap. Finished with the deep conditioning. Look at my hair. It's super hydrated. My scalp is super clean. My hair feels like rejuvenated, and now it's ready to be prepared for the twist. I'm going to go in with the Sulfur 8. I put this throughout my entire scalp in the sections that I have it in, and it's just a small part, and a little goes a long way. So I'll take a little clump and then separate in about 2 to 3, 4 parts, and it'll fully cover everything. And I love to do this because this is also what's preventing my dandruff and keeping my scalp clean from any of the Malassezia fungus that can accumulate off of oils produced by hair follicles, because our hair does produce its own oil. So sometimes our scalp can produce oil, and then we add oil to it, which can produce an over oil or overly oiled scalp, which can contribute to dandruff. So we know that the Malassezia fungus thrives in an oily environment. So having this medicated grease on your scalp helps your hair from building up that fugal oil. Once I go ahead and apply the dandruff, I like to massage it into my scalp. This also helps with not having to use so much product too, because then you can just blend it and evenly distribute it in your scalp. Here I'm going to be doing my strengthening rosemary oil from Camilla Rose. This is a balm leave-in conditioner. As you can see, it's completely oily based. It gets hot as you rub it on your hands, and when you apply it to your hands, it glides, it's smooth, it smells good, it's super oily, and it also takes away that medicated smell from the sulfur 8. That's why I was stating that as long as you have some strong potent product smells, that sulfur 8 smell does go and fade away after like one day. So I'm going to go ahead and detangle with this comb. Like I said earlier, I like to detangle in this process because once I start my twist, I only finger detangle. I don't use any other products. So I'm going to use this comb so that way the leave-in conditioner and the sulfur 8 is blended into my hair evenly, and there's no clumps, and the smell is all blended as well. Once this is all blended, I'll put it in the twist back in this section, and then I will go ahead and start doing my mini twist with my Tabitha Brown's hair cream. Now, when it comes to the sectioning of my mini twist, I don't do them super mini. I'm like a small medium girl because too tiny tangles my hair, and because I only keep them in for 2 weeks, it'll start to look like micro dreads. So that's just not the look I go for. Some people like they mini twist and they hair forever, and it starts to look like just some old braids to me. And the purpose of the mini twist for me is just to look fresh, but also to grow my hair. So if I'm just sitting with 6-week-old mini twist that isn't getting hydrated, my scalp starts to build up and irritate, and also my ends get dry because you have to wash your hair. You can't keep building product on product and then thinking your hair is going to nourish and flourish. So some people hair can do that, but I've also noticed that people who do the mini twist that have like 8 weeks or 6 weeks in, you can tell on their ends and their hair, the texture of their hair, it just doesn't look right to me. As for people who actually continue a routine and keep their hair moisturized and conditioned, because when you think about the mini twist, you can't do a lot of the deep conditioning that I did today or the process I did. You can, but a lot of that stuff will sit up in your scalp. So when you're thinking about conditioners and shampoos and shampooing your hair, once you wash your hair, some of that stuff still lays in your twists because you have to unravel the twist to thoroughly detangle your hair to wash it. So when you have all that product build up, even though you're washing your hair, sometimes that conditioner sits in your scalp, sits on top of your hair, irritates your hair. So you have to make sure that you are keeping your hair cleansed and replenished in a certain time frame for your hair. I think for me, 6 to 8 weeks is too long. Even 3 weeks is too long. 2 weeks is the max for my mini twist. Maybe as my hair gets longer, I can probably extend it out a little bit longer. But unless I'm adding some fake hair, my hair needs to automatically be taken down in 2 weeks. faded look with the twist out with the Tabitha Brown hair cream. This is such an amazing hair cream. I think all the ingredients that I used today combined has got my hair looking fly, looking nourished. My scalp looks clean and clear, as well as my hair and ends feel soft and strengthened. So I'm going to just show you how I do my mini twist. I like to keep my mini twist like this because it gives me the variety of wearing it pushed back, wearing it up in the ponytail, or wearing it directly in front of my face, or having the part down the middle. I like doing my twist with like not even parts, but more so a little bit in different like angles, because if you have the mini twist in like a certain part and structure, you can only wear your hair like that. And I'm really not into that. I like to switch my hair around. But look at those curls, y'all, popping from that hair cream. When I say Tabitha Brown did her thing with her products, these products are really good for natural hair girls, especially who suffer from dry hair, and also just needing products that work for Black girls' hair in general. So I'm really in love with the Camilla Rose and the Tabitha Brown products for my natural hair. I recommend trying them. I also recommend trying this method for keeping your hair cleansed and clean. I only do this once a month. As for my weekly routine, it's kind of like keeping it maintained from the monthly routine that I do. I hope you guys like this video. I hope this helped you, whoever is a natural girly or who's starting your natural journey and just want to keep their hair clean and strengthened and needed a routine that could help them. This is my routine. You can switch it up or change it however you like. But this is a really good routine to incorporate monthly to keep your hair on this length retention as well as scalp health. It's important to have scalp health, and people don't know that because without a clean scalp, your hair cannot continue to grow. With damaged scalp or flaky scalp, your hair cannot have the right environment to flourish. So make sure you're not only taking care of your ends, but you are also taking care of your scalp. And also, don't forget to check out my website, you guys, for my butters. You know, I make a face butter, a hair butter, and a body butter, all for treating dry, irritated skin and hair, and also for strengthening and treating issues that come from skin conditions and issues that come from dry, itchy scalp. I also have a hair butter that I love to talk about because it's so good for strengthening your hair. It can be a seal butter, it can be a twist butter, it can also go under your wash and goes, and it's good for a natural 4-type hair. Don't forget to check out my website, www.noir-aesthetics.com. That way you can make your purchases. All jars are $20. Shipping is 5 to 7 business days, sometimes sooner. So please don't forget to check out my website. And I thank you all for your support. And I love all my followers. I love you guys. I love your comments. I love how you engage with me. I love how you guys give me your opinions and your thoughts. I continue to be grateful for everyone who chooses to follow me, show love, support me, and just grant me this community. God is such a blessing. He has changed me tremendously when it comes to just my lifestyle, who I am as a woman, my hair, my skin, everything. So I always recommend having your relationship with God first, and then He will bring you to who you are within Him. Don't forget to keep God first and love yourself and love others. And peace be with all of you. Be blessed and have a terrific and wonderful day. Bye-bye.